In this lesson, we will rig the antenna. The steps here are practically the same as what we've used in the previous lesson to rig the fan blades. So let's say we get started. We'll go ahead and open up our Espresso editor. What we'll need to do is go ahead and find our antenna. Let's go ahead and select the object and use scroll to first active to grab the antenna group. Let's freeze it, and we'll then go in and find the axis we'll need to wire into, which is going to be our heading axis. All right. So now I'll just go ahead and add the group to our X group. We'll go ahead and just drag it underneath our other nodes. Okay, so expanding the node out just a little bit more so it's easier to work with. Let's go ahead and add our heading port. So we could always do this manually if we like. So we go ahead and click and choose coordinates. It's going to be rotation heading. You can see how much time the faster method saves. So next, what we'll need to do is go ahead and clone our formula node. We do not need to clone the time node. There's no reason to do that at all because we could still work with this same out port. But the formula node's a different story because that is what controls our fan blades, of course. So let's say we go ahead and clone this with Control-C to copy it, Control-V to paste. And this time what we're going to do is work with port names. So if we were to go ahead and enable this, we'll then need to go ahead and switch our variables to the port names we see here. That's going to be value 1 and value 2. So let's go ahead and type those in. And it's not case sensitive. So I'll just go ahead and type that in, value 1, and again, value 2 to replace the variable. All right, great. What I'd also like to do is vary the speed of the antenna just to make sure that things aren't spinning at the same time. Again, that's called twinning, and that tends to harm animations because it's very unnatural. So let's say we go ahead and set this value to a lower amount, which would be convenient for our antenna. If it spins too fast, well, it'd probably break and fly off somewhere. All right, so that's going to work out well. I would also like to point out that if we were to go back to our original formula operator and turn on use port names, you'll see that we have this yellow highlighted bar. This just is a warning that lets us know that this node is no longer working because the expression is broken. This is not true. So to kind of prove this to you, if we were to go ahead and select our animation control, notice when we go to our spin channel and set this to about 60%, we're going to see no spin at all. So that's exactly why we need to take our time and make sure we're wiring all of this together properly, and that we're also, in this case, using the right expression. So I'm going to go ahead and select the formula, and I'll turn off use port names. Okay, so let's go ahead and now add our user data to control the antenna spin. I'll select the animation control, and I'll go ahead and add the speed to the output side of our node. And now at that point, we can go ahead and add the speed into value 1, time. We'll wire into value 2. Might need to zoom in a little bit closer to do that. Great. And then the output here of the formula node goes directly into our heading axis of the antenna. All right, let's test this out. I'll minimize the Espresso editor and we can hit play. Notice no spin at all. Watch what happens when we go ahead and increase this to, let's say, 30%. Now when we hit play, that's how much spin we have. Great. Now watch, if we were to set this to 100% and do the same for our fan blades, again, they'll be moving at different speeds. It's exactly what we need. All right, beautiful. So we have rigged the antenna. So what do we have left to do? Only a few more tasks. We're going to learn a really cool technique in the next lesson. So we have control over our landing gear. And then following that, we'll get right into learning about joints. We'll learn about Cinema 4D's really neat IK system. We'll learn how to bind objects, and then at that point we'll be very close to cleaning up this rig so we can get ready for animation. We're just about there.